everyone. My name is Nada Mariam, and I'm one of the coordinators of Alfaisal MedHub under the International Office of Alfaisal University. Alfaisal MedHub is an initiative under the umbrella of the International Office at College of Medicine that aims at creating an online global community of medical students. Alfaisal MedHub covers a broad range of topics that are common to medical students all around the world. And Alfaisal MedHub's primary objective is to help medical students learn more about their career path, their opportunities available after graduating, and as well as the steps that are involved in pursuing them. Since medical students are always confused about what's ahead of them, the path that's ahead of them after graduating, Alfaisal MedHub's career guidance series addresses this challenge through the perspective of experienced and accomplished seniors and professors. Today, we at Alfaisal MedHub are very excited to bring to you the career guidance series Germany. The first presentation in the series will be on preparing for the German Medical Residency by Professor Tim Friedrich. And Professor Tim teaches German courses at Alfaisal University. He is trained in translation and language teaching in Germany, in Egypt, and Jordan, and he's now one of the representatives of the German Academic Exchange Service to Saudi Arabia. Thank you, Professor Tim, for joining us today, and we appreciate your time. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you very much for the introduction.
Thank you, Professor. You can start whenever you're ready. And would you like me to, do you want to take the questions at the end or as they are coming?
As I can see the chat, I think it's okay if students have questions, just type the question in the chat. I think I can see it and I will try to answer them right away. But I think also at the end, there will be an opportunity to ask questions if you have some.
Sure, whatever suits you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, could you enable me to share the screen?
Yeah, I think you can share your screen now.
It still says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, I'll make you the co-host now. Just a second.
Okay.
Yeah, you can try now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming here. Wonderful. So what is this talk about today? I'm going to talk about how to prepare for the residency in Germany. And there will be another talk by Dr. Shabalut on Saturday about his experience in getting the residency or getting the recognition in Germany. So this talk here is mainly about how to prepare it. And there's the big elephant in the room, and that's learning German, obviously. And I'm going to talk about this as well. And another thing I'm going to talk about is the whole procedure, just in a very, very short manner. So we don't want to go into deep details here, because I can also say this is the theory I'm presenting, and the practical matters will be presented by Dr. Shabalut. The third talk is with Dr. Joachim Seibert from Charité Hospital, University Hospital, and he will present his own program, exchange program with the Ministry of Education. So here you can see the points that I want to cover in this talk. Again, study German at Alfaisal University and Goethe Institute. What that is, I will tell you later on. Again, there will be a general overview over how to get the recognition, and you won't get around to study some German with me tonight, because there are some technical terms we need to learn in order to understand the process. And here you can already see the first term. Approbation is technically just the term for recognition as a medical professional in Germany. Okay, and you will see that the whole process of getting the recognition in Germany can be a little bit time consuming. It can be a little bit frustrating sometimes. And I want to present you how to do it in a smart way. And you see two things over there, master's degrees and internships. That's the last part of the talk. Before I start talking about this whole topic, I thought I might explain to you what I do here at Alfaisal University. In the introduction, you heard I teach German at Alfaisal University, but I also represent the German Academic Exchange Service. I tell that usually my students in the class, I am also with this organization, but what does that really mean? So the German Academic Exchange Service is a German organization. It belongs to the Foreign Ministry of Germany and provides scholarships. It provides abroad, and also it promotes abroad studying in Germany as well. So it goes both directions, and we are kind of all over the world. We have different centers, information points, and lectureships. As you can see, one second, as you can see over here, there's over 470 lectureships abroad. So in almost every country, there's a person like me and providing counseling, providing help with going to Germany. So in some countries, you have more than other countries. For example, here in Saudi Arabia, we have only two, one at Alfred University and one at Alfaisal University. Okay. So just to get an idea, because I get this question a lot, just to make sure. People sometimes tell me, how much do you charge for your service? I do not charge anything. This is my job, because I'm a government financed, I hold a government financed position. That means I do not charge anything. So whenever you want to come to me, you can come to me. You don't have to pay me or anything. This is a question I get regularly asked. You can see here we get funded by a lot of people, a lot of institutions, mainly from the Federal Foreign Office, meaning the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and other ministries that have a relation to sciences in Germany. Okay, so let's start the actual talk. Now you kind of know who I am, what I do, and so on. In Riyadh, learning German is obviously the most important thing that you need to do in order to get the recognition as a doctor or medical professional in Germany. In Riyadh, we have the Goethe Institute. The Goethe Institute is a German language center and cultural center as well. So they provide language courses mainly, and German exams, German language exams as well. They are very close to Alfaisal University in Al-Hammam al-Gharbi, I think, just 10 minutes away from here. They offer intensive courses. They offer evening courses as well sometimes, and sometimes even intensive courses over the summer. So that's one way, obviously, to do that. But of course, you have to pay for these courses, and sometimes as a medical student, you don't have so much time, and moving around the city, you know, it's a little bit hard. While studying, while studying at Alfaisal University in the medicine program. Okay, so this is one option you can do. The second option, and that's what I'm working on right now, is studying German at Alfaisal University. I can see that some of my students are here and they know a little bit about my German courses. I offer German 1 and German 2 at the moment, and we usually cover only 2 units in one whole course. That's a little bit less, but I made this decision because I need to make the course more available to a broader, like to more people at Alfaisal University. However, I was not very satisfied in what I've been doing. Only teaching 2 units is not very satisfying, to be honest, because you want to get stuff done. So also student affairs, they were not happy. And now we're working together that medical students in the coming semesters will be able to take German as a German path, German track, kind of. We're still developing it. Next semester, we will have 3 German courses, and I hope that in next fall semester, meaning fall semester 2023, we will have 4 German courses and so on. The goal is to have in total 6 German courses that lead you from A1 to B1. Okay. If you're not familiar with these terms, A1, A2, B1, and so on, this is the language levels according to the European Framework for Languages. That means A1 is a beginner, A2 is usually you immerse yourself into the language more, you get more fluent, but you're still very dependent on help. You're very dependent on the native speakers speaking very slowly and so on. B1 is an efficient user of the language. That means you still make a lot of mistakes, but you can get your message abroad. And a B2 speaker is, for example, someone who independently uses the language and can correct him or herself. Okay, so for Alfaisal University, we're still developing this curriculum to make you available the language levels A1 until B1. We're also working on getting another German lecturer. Maybe in fall 2023, we will have 2 German lecturers because 6 courses cannot be taught by 1 person. I need some vacation too. So please have some mercy on me in the first coming semesters. We will not be able to offer all the courses at the same time. So this is going to be something that will develop with time. Also, in the past, and I know some of you have experienced that, they enrolled in my course in German 1, but 3 weeks later, they got dropped out of the course automatically by student affairs because you didn't have enough credits left for the electives. You already filled up your electives and you cannot take more electives than you already did. So as I told you, I'm working with student affairs. That means if you enroll in German from next semester on, you're not going to get thrown out immediately. If that still happens, we still have a joker. I'm working with Dr. Mustafa on this issue. So we're on the safe side here. Why won't I teach until B2, or why won't we get, let's say, 3 German lecturers who can teach each level? Because the step from B1 to B2 is something that is recommended to be done abroad. Okay, the step from B1 to B2 is usually the hardest step. Okay, becoming from a sufficient user to an independent user of the language, it's quite a step, and the best way to do it is abroad. Some of you, I know that, know about the German or the DAAD scholarship for summer language courses in Germany. Last year, for example, or this year actually, in this summer, we had 4 scholarship holders from Alfaisal University. Unfortunately, due to Corona, they had to take an online course, but technically this is a scholarship for a language course in Germany over the summer. That means you get to travel and the course fees are covered, the language course fees are covered, the accommodation should also be covered by the scholarship, and you get a travel allowance. That means you will still have some money left even after the allowance for food, for extra trips and so on. These courses last around 3 months and so on. And this is the scholarship should provide you with the opportunity to go from B1 to B2. Okay. Also, when you take German courses, let's say you start with A1, you end up at B1 at Alfaisal University. Does that mean you will be on B1? Maybe, but also maybe not. It is totally normal if you've taken a lot of German courses. Sometimes you end up, let's say in speaking, you're still at the A2 level, let's say, but with writing, you're really good at this. Then in writing, you are on the B2 level. So this is something that you should keep in mind when you start a language. Different skills develop differently over time, okay? So you have to be a little bit merciful with yourself. Language learning takes time, okay? And still, you will study medicine at the same time. And I'm totally aware that studying medicine and studying a language at the same time, it's a huge challenge, okay? We will provide at Alfaisal University a network that will give you support. For example, from next semester on, there will be a tutor at the Academic Success Center. The Academic Success Center, it's a project by Emily Wilson from the English department, from the English department. So that means if you have a question, if you're not sure about grammar, about a homework I gave you and so on, you can go to the student tutor at the Academic Success Center, book an appointment and get help over there. Also, I just got a text message today. Some of you, or I can see that already, they wanted to join the German club. I said that a couple of weeks ago. I thought, yes, finally we got the approval from Student Affairs. Turns out, you know who delayed the process a little bit, but I just got the message, we got approved. So expect an email if you've signed up for the German club by next week or by the week after, maybe during the break. About the German course, German club. The German club can also provide you with help and support for your German language studies. After the German language course in Germany, let's say everything works great and so on, you come back from the language course and you have B2. B2 is the necessary language level that you need in order to apply for the recognition. Okay, and also usually if you're interested in an internship, if you maybe want to do 3 months of your internship at a German hospital, they also require you to have at least a B2 level, sometimes even C1. Okay, so C1 or B2 is usually required of you. Why is it required of you to have such a high level or high command of German? Because you need to be able to talk to the patients. In larger cities of Germany, you will encounter a lot of patients that do not speak German. They maybe speak Arabic, they maybe speak English and so on. That's where your part comes in. That's where you probably also step in and help your German colleagues at the hospital. But keep in mind, you need to have a German command, a very good German command, because communicating with patients is key. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about the, or not really more, but in short, about the scholarship, and just to make sure you understand it. So here you have the details. Let's just go over it very quickly. So 1,061 euro for the course fees and the accommodation. The language courses are usually around 400 to 600, sometimes even 700 euros. So there's a little bit left over. And 950 travel allowance, a flight from Riyadh to Frankfurt is about 550 euros. So there's also some money left over there. And again, 18 days, that means around 3 weeks you have for the language course. You also get a health and accident insurance from the DAAD, because that's a requirement for the Schengen visa. You apply for a Schengen visa at the German embassy for that. And yeah, application deadline is December 1st. So this goes out to everyone who's listening. If you feel like you have a German language level that is around A2 or B1, I think I caught everyone at this university who has this level. A2, B1 is kind of the requirement. Please, if you're interested, contact me. as soon as possible, maybe even after the talk, because we need to talk if you're interested. Okay. Also, a requirement was also that next summer you're still enrolled at the university. Some of you might be still at might be in the internship right now. You will still be enrolled until August next year at Alfaisal University, so you can still enroll, so you can still apply for this scholarship. One second. Okay. So here are two testimonials of students who have taken this scholarship, Adnan and Ahmed. I'm not sure if you know them. And they took the online course. They should have gone to Germany, but due to Corona again, they unfortunately had to take the course online. But both of them really, really liked the online course because you will see that in Germany, these intensive courses or these summer language courses, they are very, very good. Okay, from the quality, the teachers are very well trained, so you won't have a boring second over there. You will be challenged and you will have to interact with the other course participants a lot. So in these 3 weeks, you will definitely learn a lot. There are also, if you are advanced learner of German, there are courses for German as a medical language as well on the B2 and C1 level. If you're interested in that, let me know. So let's get to the hot stuff, to the recognition process for medical professionals in Germany. And here you can see a word cloud of nice words that will help you to understand the process, and you can see our German technical words. But I will try my best to explain them to you. The earlier you get familiar with these terms, the better. So, before I talk about the process in detail, we need to explain something here. Germany Germany is a federal state. What does that mean? Federalism means, like in the United States, we have different states, and these states decide stuff for themselves. Sometimes the federal parliament decides for itself, but sometimes they have to demand other decisions from other levels of government. Let's say, for example, the local cities and so on, they decide for themselves what they want to do for cultural matters, or the state, they want to decide only stuff for their medical relations and so on. And here also we have the problem, 16 states and 16 different ways, or let's say different procedures for applying for the recognition as a medical professional, because health and health matters are a state matter. So for example, here you have a state over here that says Niedersachsen. So Niedersachsen, there's a let's say government office that decides on the matters for medical stuff by themselves. Then you have a state over here. This is called Bavaria or Bayern. Over here is Munich. Maybe some of you know this, München. They have a government office for health matters themselves. What are these government offices called? They're called Landesärztekammer. What does that mean? That means the state board for medical professionals, and they do the recognition process. So that means 16 different states, 16 different procedures for the recognition. And I'm even lying to you right now, it's actually 17, because in this part of the country, Rheinland-Pfalz, there are 2 government offices, 2 state boards for the recognition of medical professionals. So you have in total 17 different procedures. Does that mean every procedure is totally different? No. Usually they ask for the same procedures, only they differ in details. Let's say, for example, some of them they ask only for translations if the language is not English and German. Some of them require, let's say, a curriculum that has a 17-month internship and not a 12-month internship. So they have sometimes different requirements. What does this mean? What does this tell us? Before you decide for a residency in Germany, you need to know where you want to do the residency. Okay, you need to decide in which state do you want to do the residency, in which state do you want to work, at which hospital, and where is this hospital. Okay, and wherever you are in Germany, let's say in Hanover, for example, and you work therefore in the state of Niedersachsen, you need to contact the State Board for Medical Professionals in Niedersachsen in order to get the recognition as a medical professional. So, on the right side, you have a very, very, very simple procedure, how it usually goes. How do you do the recognition as a doctor? Here again, you can see that you need a B2 certificate. Usually from Goethe Institute is enough. There are other course providers that have B2 examinations, but here you have the B2 certificate. Usually it's from Goethe, but there are other course providers. First of all, I just said this to you, choose the state where you want to apply. And secondly, you need to know which documents to submit. There's a wonderful website called Anerkennung in Deutschland, which means recognition in Germany, that tells you what kind of documents to get. We will go there in 1 second. And this page will get you to the website of the State Board for Medical Professionals as well. So you can read the information on this page as well. The problem is the websites for the State Boards for Medical Professionals, they are usually in German. Okay, so that means when you want to get information about the procedure, you already kind of need to know German. Regarding this website, we will go there in 1 second. Let me just tell you, it's a little bit of clicking. It's not great, this website, but it tells you the most important information about the process and so on. So 1 second. We want to go here. I hope you can see this right now. So this is the website Anerkennung in Deutschland. You can see German. If you've taken German 1 with me, you know that this word means language. Sprache means language. So we want to choose English. And I hope the internet is working. Not. Okay. While this is loading, let me tell you something. This is a lot of clicking, and if you need help with this website, I'm always available. By the way, if you don't know me yet, I am in the College of Science. That means I'm on the ground floor. If you want to pay me a personal visit, I'm on the ground floor, opposite of the UPP section, College of Science, the SG88. That's the former office of Dr. Charles. And if you want personal counseling, you can always come to my office during my office hours. And I wish this would work right now. Okay, let's hope this is working. Okay, we'll do it later. We'll do it later. Let me check later if the website is working. But in general, we can say that this website will tell you what documents to get. Usually it is, first of all, a language certificate. You need the curriculum. You need the curriculum of Alfaisal University. And you need, for example, the certificate of good command. That's the to see whether you've committed a crime or something. Then you need a medical examination if you are medically fit. Residency in Germany. Hala, can you mute yourself? Thank you. Perfect. Where was I? And the list of documents are there. Usually, you need to translate all of these documents, even if they are in English, into German. This can be a little bit costly, but I'm thinking about doing the translation maybe next semester. We'll see, in cooperation with you, but that's something I haven't decided about yet. But translation is important. There are some states that accept the documents in English as well, but you need to ask for this. Sometimes they make an exception, especially if you are like, for example, here at Alfaisal University, it's the American curriculum with the blocks and so on. This might get you a bonus because it's the it's in English and they can compare it to former curricula. But keep in mind, 16 different states, 17 different states, 17 different procedures. That means the curriculum of Alfaisal University can be accepted, let's say, in Niedersachsen, can be accepted over there. Okay, this aside, it's the same as the German curriculum. Perfect. We acknowledge, we recognize the curriculum. But let's say you want to apply in Sachsen, and Sachsen says, no, we don't accept your curriculum. This can happen as well. So again, keep in mind 17 different can be judged differently 17 times. Okay, this is a bit of a downer, I know, but there are ways around this. Fachsprachenprüfung or Fachsprachprüfung, that's something you will definitely have to do. That's a requirement. That's a C1 examination for German as a medical language. Usually the state boards for medical professionals, the Landesärztekammer, they offer the courses and they also do the examinations. So again, Fachsprachprüfung here means the examination for German as a medical language on a C1 level. What does this examination encompass? First of all, the first part is a doctor-patient talk. So you get to examine like a fake patient kind of, and you have to talk obviously in German, and they will assess you according to your communication skills, how well you did in the communication aspect of this part. B is taking the medical history and how well do you document the whole procedure. Ferham is asking in the chat, from experience, is there a Bundesland, a state in Germany, where it's a little easier to get into? Let me explain this to you later. The thing is, we don't have a lot of experience right now from Alfaisal graduates going to Germany. We only have a few, and one of them is going to talk on Saturday about his experience. So he can tell you a little bit more about this question. Let me just tell you something that I totally forgot. I'm sorry about this. Who assesses the curriculum? Who assesses, let's say, a Alfaisal curriculum, whether it fits the German curriculum or not? Usually, before 2016, 2017, each state, they had an assessor, a medical professional who is an assessor. They assessed the curriculums from abroad, or curricula from abroad, whether they fit the German curriculum or not. Since 2016 and 2017, there's a central committee in Bonn. Let me show this to you where Bonn is. Bonn is over here. This central committee consists of lawyers and medical professionals too. They assess, it's a central committee that assesses each curriculum. So they want to unify the process of assessing the curriculums, medical curriculums from abroad, whether they fit the German curriculum or not, whether these curriculums are recognized or not. So in the future, I think it will be very important to know if a Alfaisal graduate will apply for residency in Germany and their Alfaisal curriculum is sent to Bonn via the State Board for Medical Professionals. They have to send it there. You don't have to send it over there. They do it for you. And then they will send an answer back to the State Board and tell them whether the curriculum is recognized or not. Okay, so this is how it usually goes. And here we have a big problem as well. A state board for medical professionals, a Landesärztekammer, they can only send one curriculum request or curriculum assessment request at a time. So for example, Bayern, the Landesärztekammer, the State Board for Medical Professionals in Bavaria, in Bayern, sends one curriculum to Bonn to get an assessment. They do the assessment and so on and decide, okay, it's the same as the German curriculum, so this person can get a recognition. Bonn sends it back. They cannot send multiple requests at the same time. So when you apply for Approbation, for the recognition as a German, as a medical professional in Germany, the process of the curriculum assessment takes a lot of time. Okay, it can take a lot of time. Usually what the state boards say on their website, or the whole recognition process, it takes up to 4 to 6 months. This is kind of not true, because the curriculum assessment can take quite a while, depending on how busy it gets. So you cannot really know how fast this whole process can go. Thank you, Faham, for this question. It was very important. Again, the easiest state, we still have to kind of assess together which one is the easiest and whether the Central Committee for Assessing the Medical Curriculums from Abroad recognizes the Alfaisal University curriculum. Maybe even Dr. Shabalut can tell you tomorrow a little bit more about this. Okay, where were we? Fachsprachenprüfung, the medical language exam on the C1 level. Again, doctor-patient communication is the first part, taking medical history and documenting your assessment of the patient. That's the second part, so that's kind of the writing part. And the third part is the doctor-doctor communication. That means you have to justify your findings and your results of the patient assessment. That means you will get your the medical history that you took and the documents that you filled out in this session with you, and you need to justify it on a what do you say? Explain it with medical terms. So I think the last part is quite the hardest part here. Correct me if I'm wrong. The third part is actually just what I told you here. Gutachtenstelle für Gesundheitsberufe. This is the Central Committee for Assessment for Medical Curriculums from Abroad. This is here the problem that I just explained to you. Here you have a quote from their requirements of assessment. What does that mean? Wesentliche Unterschied. Unterschiede means significant differences. That means they will assess, let's say, the Alfaisal medical curriculum with the German, or compare it to the German curriculum, and assess whether there are significant differences in the teaching. What I've heard so far is when you turn in the Alfaisal medical curriculum, to get an assessment whether it fits the German curriculum or not. Usually what you study from the first 5 years is technically not a problem because we have this course, we have the course specifications. They're usually quite elaborate. They tell you what you exactly did during those 5 years. The only problem is the central committee or the central assessment office here. They want a detailed description of what you did during the internship. Okay, and the course specifications for the internship from Alfaisal University, I've seen them, they're not very explicit because you get to, I think the third part of your rotation, I think you get to decide yourself what you want to do. So it can be very, very individual what you do during your internship. So there's no like detailed document from Alfaisal University. Maybe what you should do is get a record or a document that details exactly what you did during your internship. This might help you a lot. The second bullet point here, long procedure, one request at a time. That's what I told you before. The State Board for Medical Professionals can send only one request at a time, and then has to wait until this assessment is done in order to send the next one. So this can take quite a lot of time, consume a lot of time that some people don't have. And then we need to also talk about the State Board for Medical Professionals. What happens if you do not get the recognition? You still can get the, or if the curriculum is assessed as not the same to the German curriculum. This is what I wanted to say. What if the Alfaisal curriculum does not match the German curriculum? They will ask you, the State Board will ask you to take a medical proficiency test. One second. They will ask you to take a medical proficiency test. And this test, I've heard so far, it can be very, very hard and it can be very, very easy. So from state to state, again, we have 17 different procedures. You take you have 17 different medical proficiency tests. Again, these can be very different. They can be very hard or very easy. The thing is, you want to avoid this medical proficiency test. Why do you want to avoid it? If you fail it, your chances of getting the recognition will get lower. It is something that will be put in your record. So if you apply, let's say, for another hospital, they will see that you missed or that you failed one time the medical proficiency test. You can do this test only twice. If you fail twice, you cannot get a recognition in Germany. That means we want to avoid that. We want to make sure that the Alfaisal curriculum is acknowledged, is recognized in Germany, and that is why we have to gather the experience from people who went to Germany and tried the recognition process, which state works best, and whether the Central Assessment Office decides the Alfaisal curriculum fits or not. Okay. The medical proficiency test, just as a last comment over here, is called Kenntnisprüfung. Okay, this is a very, very, very general description of what the recognition process can look like. Maybe on in the talk with Dr. Shabalut on Saturday, he can give you a little bit more insight into this whole process. What kind of documents do you have to turn in, and what specific things you have to take care of for the recognition in general. 1 second. What's next? Okay, so we come to the last part of the presentation today. This is quite a time-consuming process we have over here. Okay, the assessment of the curriculum can take quite a while. We don't know how long it will take. Then the whole process of recognition, 4 to 6 months. So in total, I think you can probably plan like 1 to even 2 years for this whole process to go by. The best way to do is, you are already in Germany, you can organize the documents. You want to take a C1 a course for medical German at the state boards and so on. So the best way to do this is in Germany. How can you get to Germany? One way around this, one way to prepare yourself for the whole recognition process is to take a master's degree in medicine, obviously. Okay, there are tuition-free master's degree programs related to medicine, and they're taught also in English. Here you have a map, sorry, that's from an Instagram post, for different medical master's degrees in Germany. Let's say, for example, you can study over here medical microtechnology or cognitive neurosciences, or in Munich you can, for example, study epidemiology and or nutrition and biomedicine. So whatever fits you best. Why should you do that? First of all, as a student at a university, you study first in English and you don't pay any tuition fee. You also have access to the language courses at the University Language Center. These are usually free, or you can take, or they sometimes ask you to pay like a little fee for all semester. Usually it's around 50 euros or something, so it's not a big amount, but they offer German courses for foreigners as well. And this is, I think, the cheapest option to get German courses in general, and you are in the country. And the country means you get a lot of cultural exposure, you get a lot of language exposure. That means you can polish your German skills that you've previously learned in Saudi Arabia. Okay, there's a database by the DAAD called the International Degree Programs Database. I hope the internet works now. Let's see, I want to show you this, this website. Oh, it's already shared. Internal server, okay, perfect. So this is the website for the database for the international programs. What you want to do is you want to do a master's degree. You want to teach, you want to study in English, and you want to study medicine. There are 52 programs available. In the presentation you saw, I think I told you there's like 16 because I handpicked them. 1 second. Oops, what did I do? Can you help me? What do you see right now? Do you see the database, or do you see the presentation?
I can see the database.
Because I can see right now the presentation. One second, let me fix that.
Sure.
Okay. Now, perfect. Okay. Okay, perfect. So you have 52 results for, let's do it again, medicine, master's degree in English. And here you can see, for example, over here, no tuition fees. You go to this entry over here and you have information about the master's degree program. And here you always have a link to the website. Is it working now? Maybe the website is down today. Okie dokie. So use this website for looking to look for master's degree programs. It has a lot of benefits over there to be in Germany and to apply at the same time for Approbation, for the recognition as a medical professional in Germany. When you study the master's degree program, you definitely have time and you get an extra qualification in your field that will help you a lot later to make a profile of yourself as a doctor. It helps you very much in your career. So I definitely recommend to you to do a master's degree while you apply for recognition in Germany. Also, you can go to these offices directly. I mean, not right now because of Corona, they only offer phone services and email services, but let's say you apply next year and you can go directly to the office and ask about this whole procedure. It makes a lot of things much easier in general. If you don't have, if you cannot take notes right now, if you want these links and so on, I will show you at the end of the presentation where you can find them. And or the websites I just showed you. If you cannot take notes, again, at the end, I will show you where to find it. And you can always visit me, I told you this before, at my office. It's SG88 at Alfaisal University. It's opposite of the University Preparatory year program. And I'm in the old office of Dr. Charles. Maybe some of you know him. I kind of pushed him away. Okay, let's do something else. Let's talk about internships at German hospitals. I told you in the beginning, in order to do an internship at a medical or at a university hospital or the normal hospital, you should have the language requirements. That means at least B2, better even C1, because again, you need to interact with patients. Usually doctors speak English, but still you need to have a good command of German. And here are some official websites from university hospitals that offer specifically that have a public call for applications in English for students who want to do part of their internships abroad. Those are links. Let's have a look at just one, just to make sure, or just to show you how this looks like. Let's do the one in Munich. Please work. Okay, over here. So here you can see the website from the International Office of the Medical Medicine in Munich. So here they have a public call for applications if you're interested in having parts of your, if you want to do part of your internship in Germany. Here you can see German on C1 level. So this is something you should definitely have in order to apply for this. Can you only apply, let's say, to the 4 university hospitals I just showed you? No. You can also apply to other university or other hospitals and university hospitals across Germany, but you need to let them know. You need to do the application by yourself. It's not like something they are having a public call application, but you definitely can call them or email them if they have positions available. Keep in mind, you should probably submit the application in German. Right now, there are 2 students who are also former scholarship holders of the language course scholarship in Germany. They are right now in Heidelberg. I want to show you Heidelberg, 1 second. Here, Heidelberg is a very beautiful city. Do we have it over here? 1 second. Yes, 1 second. Here, Heidelberg is over here. Very cute and beautiful university town, and their medical program is also very interesting. They have are internationally very well known for their research as well. And these 2 Alfaisal students, they're over there. And they will come back in December. Maybe if you're interested, maybe we can convince them to have a talk about their experience too. Maybe that's something you would be interested in as well. So, just to summarize, what I talked about right now is first of all the the German language program here at Alfaisal University. We will develop the German language program over here over the next semester, so that at the end you can have a language level of B1. I also talked about that you can do German courses at the local Goethe Institute, the German Language Institute here in Riyadh. That's also a possibility. And in very brief detail, I talked about also the language scholarship for applying the DAAD language scholarship for a German language course abroad in Germany, and that you can apply to still until December 1st. And I explained to you in very, very brief detail, like very briefly, the whole recognition process, how that works. And here in the last part you saw, I definitely recommend doing a master's degree during your application for the recognition as a medical professional in Germany. And if you're interested in doing an internship, this will definitely benefit your application in the process of recognition to have parts of your internship done in Germany. Any questions?
If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat now, guys.
Let me show you actually one slide, 1 second. Where did I put it? Because I want people to know how they can also reach me. So there we go. Okay. Sorry about this. I forgot to add this. Again, I told you about the DAAD in the beginning. There are 2 lecturers right now for the DAAD in Germany, in Saudi Arabia. These are our email addresses. You know my email address from Alfaisal University. We also have an Instagram account, DAAD.KSA. If you want to get information or contact me or Friedrich, my colleague in Jeddah, directly, you can do that over Instagram as well. Yeah, as you probably may have recognized, I will answer your question 1 second, sorry. These I used in my presentation some of the Instagram posts. So these posts, for example, over here, you have it as on Instagram as well. And you also have in the bio of our Instagram account, you have a link tree. That means all important links you find over there as well. Okay, let's go through the questions. So Dana is asking, for master's degrees in English, are we required to also have specific level of German language? No. When you apply for a master's degree or that is entirely taught in English, you do not have to prove your German skills at all. However, I really, really recommend that you do at least A1 in German, because when you arrive in Germany, you still need to talk German. For example, you need to register at the city office because you're living in a city and they want to know that you live there. You should definitely have some command of German, like A1 minimum, because also these people at the city office, they don't really talk English. Okay, you can also get friends with you that help you with translation, but I recommend that you get around yourself with A1 in German. Good question. Next one. If we'd like to do our internship year 6 of medicine in Germany, do we already have to apply for Approbation or just via the respective uni applications? Okay. The thing is here, the internship year, if you want to do part of it, right? That's what you're asking, or the total year. No, you don't need to apply for Approbation. You don't need to apply for recognition. You can do parts or the full internship if you can do that. I don't know. Without the recognition in Germany, that's also possible. And you do not apply at the university. Sometimes it's the international office of the College of Medicine who handles the application. Sometimes it's the hospital administration themselves who handle the applications. So it's very different from hospital to hospital, from university hospital to another university hospital. You have to do some research there. The best way is just contact someone that has an affiliation to international relations at the hospital or university hospital. Okay. If I didn't answer your question, well, just rewrite the question again in the chat. Okay, thank you very much for all the info you provided. My question is, what are the states that are more friendly preferred by international students or interns in terms of requirements? I answered this question before, Mohammed. The thing is, we don't really know yet. Since 2016, 2017, there's a central office for recognition of the foreign curriculum, foreign medical curriculum in Germany. I think if you attend the talk by Mohammed Jabalut on Saturday, I think he can answer you this question a little bit more, because I also think he has contacts to other people who've done this process. Maybe they know a little bit more whether the Alfaisal curriculum is recognized in certain states than other states. Technically, there should be a unified decision by the central office in Bonn, where the central office for assessing the foreign medical curriculums. But the practice, as German bureaucracy works that way, the practice can be very, very different as well too. That's why I told you in the beginning, also this talk is mainly about preparing and knowing the general procedure, just in general, and the experience, the testimonial you get from Dr. Jabalut on Saturday. In terms of internships, there will be 2 students coming from Germany who did parts of the internship in December. They will be coming back in December. Maybe we can arrange another talk with them. They can talk maybe about their experience. Okay, Sheikh is asking, good evening, where can I find fellowship residency programs in Germany? Is there like a website? Yes, there's a website, but it's entirely in German. So when you start looking for these residency programs and so on, you already kind of need to know German. 1 second. I'll show it to you in 1 second. Where can you get the information? There's a website by the Federal Board for Medical Professionals. Where is it? Over here. It's called Ärzteblatt. Those of you who have taken German with me, Ärzteblatt. Ärzte means doctors. Deutsches means German, and Blatt means like a leaflet and so on. But it's a website or a publication by the Federal Board for Medical Professionals. Where do you look? You can already see there is no English. Everything is in German. So this might be a little bit confusing if you don't know any German yet. But where you look, you want to look for aktuelle Stellenangebote. Aktuelle Stellenangebote means current job offers. How do you look for residencies? Over here, you have Funktion, like which function do you want to do over here? This is what you want to look for. A resident, a medical resident, we call it Assistenzarzt, like an assistant doctor kind of. And here, over here, you have 240 jobs available. I didn't tell you this before, but we need medical professionals in Germany from abroad. We don't have enough, and we have an aging population. In the next 10 years, a lot of people will go into retirement, so there will be a huge gap in medical staff at German hospitals. So just saying, if you apply, your chances are quite good to get a job. Okay, now we chose Assistenzarzt. We chose that because we want to do a residency. Fachgebiet means specialization. You go over here, and here you have the different specializations. You can already see that German medical language is very close to English. So some of them you might understand. I think most of you would be interested, let's say, in surgery. Surgery is a little bit different in German. That means Chirurgie. Chirurgie. Over here, you have 39 jobs where you can apply to. So if you want to look for this, if you have the language level to do your own research in this website, let me know. Also, you know, this is, I'm using Google Chrome, you can also do this. Okay, and doctor and training, interesting. Again, Google Translate is not great, just saying. Okay. Where were we? Shira, okay. I hope yes, I answered your question. Next one. Can I do a master's degree without a sponsorship? Yes, you do. And again, there's no tuition fees, but of course you need to pay yourself a little bit. Sorry, you need to sustain a life over there. There's rent, there is food, there's books sometimes you have to pay. In total, you should calculate 800 to 1,000 euros a month in order to get around. Also, there's student dormitories available for international students, so you can also apply for that. I definitely recommend student dormitories. They're very cheap and they have everything included, and it's usually the cheapest option in town. But the DAAD also offers scholarship for master's degrees as well. Usually you can apply for the scholarship only when you've already enrolled into the master's degree. That means the funding for a master's degree usually starts in the second semester, not in the first semester. By the way, I'm not sure if I've told you, master's degrees, they last 2 years, 4 semesters in Germany, not like 2 semesters here at Alfaisal University. Okay, next one. Martas is asking, regarding the approval of my medical degree, does it depend on the university? Like, can they accept some students from Alfaisal this year and reject new students in the following year from the same university? I hope not. Again, I told you we have 17 different states, 16 different states and 17 different procedures. But technically one central office for assessing the curriculum of Alfaisal University. I hope that Dr. Shabalut can tell you a little bit more on Saturday about that. But as it is my experience with German bureaucracy, it can be a little bit frustrating. So this might be happening. I hope not. Sorry, I'm not giving you satisfying answers here, but yeah. Is there a medical residency fellowship program purely in English? Unfortunately, no. Because you need to talk to patients, and patients usually talk German, and there's no way around German, unfortunately. Good evening. Do we need to finish internship here before we start applying for the recognition, or can we do it before? No, you need to finish it because you need to turn in your curriculum, and you need in the curriculum there needs to be a detailed description of what you've done in the internship. That means you need to have completed your internship when you apply. Ibrahim is asking, I didn't quite understand what the master is for. How would it help? Again, the process of getting the recognition is time intensive. It can be very frustrating, and the best way to do this process is to be in Germany. That's just my suggestion, my own recommendation, and I think Dr. Chabalut will agree with me on this one. Being in Germany makes it a little bit easier for the whole process of getting the recognition done. You can go directly to the office and ask your questions, and getting the documents a little bit easier. Also, when you live in Germany, it's also a good way to learn the language a little bit more, because usually when you study a language abroad, let's say in Saudi Arabia, you got B1 or B2, and then you actually go to Germany, it can be quite the language shock, okay? That means you might, even though you have B2, you might not understand the people over there, okay? This can happen too. So being in Germany has a lot of benefits. Also, when you do a master's degree, you have access to the university language center. That means you can take German courses there for free, redo some of the courses. Maybe you can work on your talking, or you can your speaking, and you're listening a little bit more in these courses. Also, when you do a master's degree, it's an additional a qualification that will help you in the career later on. Okay, Mohammed is asking, thank you so much for the lecture. Can we have like a WhatsApp group to share information and to keep in touch with Herr Friedrich and the other medical students? The idea is to ask more and to contact and give either advices to each other, make more online events, because we all have the same goal. I'm from Jeddah. I don't have like the program King Faisal University have. I'm interested in involving thinking about my okay. Wonderful that you came, Mohammed, first of all. WhatsApp group. I think we can do this. Let me take note of this. This is something I did not think about yet, but that's a great idea. If we want to keep in touch for people or medical students in general who want to do, medical students in Saudi Arabia who want to do the medical residency in Germany. That's a great idea. Thank you so much. You know how to contact me. You know, you can, you saw my email. Hopefully, let me actually write this, my email in the chat.
Yeah, Professor, if you share your email, I think they can contact you. We can move on from there.
Okay, I just posted. I hope oh, sorry, I don't know. Sorry, Faham, I sent it only to you. One second. So now everybody should see it. You can send me an email, and that's a great way actually to keep in touch. Wonderful. And also, Mohammed, you can also contact my colleague at Erfurt University, Friedrich, if you need any other question. Let me just get her email address so you can contact her. I just posted the email address of my colleague in Jeddah at Alfaisal University. Mohammed, you can contact her over there if you're interested. Mohammed is also asking, is it possible to do masters online? In the database I showed you, there's an option to check whether the master's degree is available online or not. From my own experience, I think most of them are not online, unfortunately. But again, being in Germany is, I think, a little bit, it's a better way, I think, to prepare yourself for the residency or the application for the residency. I think that's it. That's all your questions. If you do still have questions, type fast.
Thank you so much, Professor Tim. That was very informative, and we really appreciate your time and your efforts. And also thank you to the audience. We hope you found it beneficial. If you have any more questions, you can put them in the chat. Lastly, I'd also like to thank Ambos for their constant support. You can make sure to register for the upcoming Careers Guidance Series Germany. We have more talks. I will share the link in the chat for everyone. And make sure to follow us on our Twitter and Instagram handles at Alfaisal MedHub, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to receive our latest updates. I will also share the link for our social media. Yes. All right, here we go. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Professor Tim. And thank you, everyone. We look forward to hosting you again in the future. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful meeting with you.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you to the audience as well. Again, contact me anytime if you want.
Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you.